Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Gotta get down on Tuesday.
Okay.
Partying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of odd. It's Tuesday.
I'm still feeling it from the horse, dog.
Oh, Crazy Horse stays in you for a couple of days.
It does. Crazy horse stays in you.
Yes.
You feel like
Mayo Loco.
you've been taken by a horse.
I meant to ask you because I didn't really see the Kevin Ralston much at all at the event because there was a lot of just action going on. Were you getting turned? Would you say you were turned, or were you just slightly buzzed?
You know, I was getting there. I mean, you know, I don't know what level I was at, but
I saw a couple you were smiling.
So I was having a great time. Yeah, I'd had a couple of those little vodka cocktails in a can that they have. In fact, they've got a really good brand. High Noon is a really popular brand of those out right now. And at Crazy Horse, they sell what's called Neutral, the Nutrl. In fact, they brought some in when they were in here right for our break, and I'd had those at home and did one right next to High Noon. I like the Neutrals better.
Okay.
And so had those rocking, and those are good because they're about, the same amount of alcohol really is like a Corona.
They're 5%.
Yeah, around 4 or 5%. So, you can have those, and they're refreshing, no sugar, only like 100 calories, so they're right in there. So you kind of drink that, and then there were a couple shots going on. There's a shot of whiskey, and then I think by the time the whole thing was over, I sipped down 2 shots of tequila.
Yeah, the shots kept finding me somehow, and I wasn't even ordering them.
I know. I've seen it.
People were just giving me shots galore.
People buy a round of shots, and they bring it over, and then you're like, I got to do it.
Well, there's always an awkward moment where you just have done a shot, but someone doesn't realize that, and they bring you over a shot they just bought. So, Bird, do the shot of tequila. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Fuck you, Bird.
All right, I'll do it.
Fine, I will do it.
Let me see here. So we got a bunch of other emails as well. What you got here, you can send it to us. Let me see. This would be a whacked out news story here that we got. Somebody said, saw this and figured Jaber would like it, or you could use it for your whacked out news bit from David. It says, Oklahoma man says Bigfoot made him kill his fishing partner. Police say.
And I saw the mugshot. This is not what we want in the Bigfoot community. With the Bigfoot Festival coming up in Logan, Ohio. Not the kind of press we need right now, Virginia.
I hear ya.
Day out hand fishing for catfish on the South Canadian River in Pontotoc County, Oklahoma has turned into a murder investigation after a man claims Bigfoot forced him to kill his friend.
Oh, boy.
Oh, is there there's a documentary about this?
I don't know. I think it was a story I think I just saw today.
Okay.
And that's it is. Larry Sanders stands charged with first-degree murder after allegedly admitting first to a family member and later to police to killing his noodling hand of the mythical monster Bigfoot. Noodling is a popular fishing technique used in the southern United States to catch a fish by sticking one's hand in its mouth. The local sheriff, John Christian, told the media that Sanders appeared to be under the influence of something when he told police he had struck, strangled, and then drowned Knighton. So his statement was that Mr. Knighton had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him, and that's why he had to kill Mr. Knighton. Christian said that the local prosecutor would likely push for the death penalty if Sanders is found guilty in the case.
I don't know. I think his story's plausible. Adding up to me. It's always these fucked up stories for the Bigfoot community.
We believe him. Release him.
Oh, man. Of course, that's the story.
Yeah. And that would be the mug shot of the guy that you're talking about.
He looks very innocent.
Yeah, looks like the kind of guy that...
I swear to God I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he mumbles under his breath, and I'd do it again.
I swear I'd never do it. I fucking love murder.
I got this email here. It says, my daughter and I listen to your show every day, laugh the whole time, and I've always wondered what is the history with Panda and Jaber. They knew each other prior, and Jaber introduced Virginia to Panda.
Correct. We went to Palm Beach Gardens High School together.
Where they were lovers.
He was my first hand job. No, he was. We both took art class together. It was my very first high school anything. You walked in. It was my first class, and he was in that class, and we became friends relatively quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, and then stayed friends. Yeah, since I was 14. Mrs. Hecht was her name.
Mrs. Hecht.
She was my art teacher, and I did love her, and I'm such a shitty drawer, and I had her again for my sophomore year, and I would go, Mrs. Hecht, what did I do to get a B? You keep giving me C's. I go, I'm really trying hard. I go, this isn't B material. She's like, okay. I kept on harping her about these B's, so she started giving me B/C's on my paper. I'm like, what is this bullshit? Then I looked in her grade book when she wasn't looking. They were all C's. She never gave me a fucking B.
I've seen your drawings. You were lucky to get a C.
I was destroyed. Like, a C? That B was important. I'm trying to make grades for ball, bro.
So let me see. I got an email here from Marco. Said, hey, fuckers, welcome back. Love the ATS podcast. Curious about some behind-the-scenes stuff. How come you guys don't advertise more typical ads than what you hear from other podcasts? Quick birthday shout-out to my wife, Cheryl, too. I love you to the moon and back.
We're in a weird, wonky situation because we are in terrestrial, and that's really where our bread and butter is. And the podcast is just extra... icing right now. There's different guidelines for us because of the terrestrial thing.
Yeah, we don't really get paid that much, hardly at all, from the podcast stuff. And all the other podcasters you hear, they're usually on like a national network or a syndicate situation where they're doing national podcast ads for companies that sign on to work with national podcasters.
And the other thing, too, is sometimes when you own your own podcast and you're not under a company, you don't have any guidelines you have to follow. We have a whole company that we have to follow there's protocols we got to follow. So to answer your question, yes, we have no control over anything.
Okay.
Including our bowels.
Speak for yourself. I'm strong, dog.
You talk about this butt that's so strong. You barely fart. I think you have a magical butthole.
Well, you're always on the mic trying to paint me and Kevin like, you got loose bowels. Don't paint that with me and Kevin.
Mine are not loose. I believe your ass is underactive. I don't think you have anything going on over there.
Well, just because you're not involved in my ass doesn't mean you know what's going on. Let's get that.
I sit pretty close to you. You never fart. Yeah. I've never heard you fart.
I've heard you fart though. I mean, at least we're talking double digits, and that's pretty fucked up. I haven't heard Kevin fart double digit style. He never farts either.
No, he does fart. He saves them for like every 6 months, and then Kevin will fart, and he will clear the room.
I fart twice a year.
Do you remember the one bit? I don't know if you even remember. You were on the ground, and it was right before we were getting prepared for the bit, and you were laying on your back, and I had to stand on your stomach or something. But right before the microphones go on, I stepped on your stomach, and I kicked a fart out of you.
Kicked the fart right out of her, huh?
I stepped on your tummy, and then a fart came out, and we could not control ourselves when Kevin put the microphone on.
Oh, good times.
Good times. So let me see. Yeah, probably the big answer on like the typical ads is I think a lot of those are sold by national companies. That's a lot of times what happens with podcasts. And we're fortunate. Our local sales team is doing a great job selling our podcast. And so to me, I'd rather have local advertisers on there inside the podcast. And that's a lot of what we do. So that's why you're not hearing some of the typical, because they'll buy big network stuff. There are companies that like buying network podcasts, and we're not there. I like where we're doing this and how we're doing it.
Yeah, there are some you can tell that they went all in on podcasts because that company is in so many. I forget, and I've started hearing the advertiser on podcasters. I'm hearing it now on our regular recruiter or some kind of recruiter, not recruiter. It's I don't know, but I'm hearing it all the podcast.
Don't worry, they're not going to call you to be their pitch man. Not with that pitch.
I don't even think they can cancel me because I'm not talking shit because I'm not even saying it right.
Is it Roto-Rooter?
That's what it is. I see that everywhere. No, I don't think it is Roto-Rooter.
If Roto-Rooter and a recruiting company got together, it'd be Roto-Recruiter.
It's not Roto-Rooter. No, I don't know what it is, Kevin, but you get my point.
Okay.
I don't know that we do.
Yeah, fuck it. It's the summertime.
Yeah.
Fucking
You
summer.
Bobby said, I've been meaning to tell you for some time, I've noticed the amazing jingles that you've produced for all of your show staples. I don't know if Jaybird's been producing all of them, but they are amazing. Yes, they are. And Bird and Denny's does an amazing job.
Yeah, I'll write them, and then I'll go to Denny's house, and then we'll record them.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy.
And let me see. And on a total side note, I did happen to catch a podcast. You're talking about Amber Heard being diagnosed with a histrionic personality. Just FYI, having a histrionic personality disorder is the same as being a narcissist or a sociopath. It is a learned behavior and does not dismiss a person's behaviors. If someone's a narcissist, it doesn't mean that they're excused for being mentally abusive to the people in their life.
Amen.
Yes, I agree. Just because you got head issues doesn't mean you have to be evil.
You're not allowed to treat people like assholes, is the bottom line.
Right. We got some decorum up in here.
Yeah, so there you go. So Bobby also gives us a nice compliment from somebody who's spent 25 years in radio themselves. Thank you for that, Bobby.
Oh, Bobby, I like this. Girl or guy?
Fancy.
Bobby,
B-O-B-I? I don't know.
Go either way.
Bobby with an I? That's a girl.
Okay.
Most
All right,
likely.
Bobby.
Send us a pic.
Virginia's my pimp.
Yeah.
Where were you on? Saturday was the day. I know. Yeah, I know.
I had travel drama.
I know.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah, I got stuck, but then it actually worked out better in the end because I was supposed to fly into Fort Lauderdale, but then they let me change to fly into PBI. So I got stuck, but I still only lost like an hour and a half. You know, I mean, I would have been much worse off in Fort Lauderdale flying in later.
I lost about 4.5 hours just from being that crazy horse.
You said there was hotties there, though.
There were some good-looking girls there for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you get any numbers?
It was so crazy. And when there's so much craziness going on, it's kind of hard to go into
Mac mode.
just whatever mode you want to call it. We're just trying to get out of there alive and not have another. I went back in. We were probably past 20 minutes. It was probably because the event was from 4:30 to 6:30. It's probably 6:45, 7 o'clock. And I go, I'm going to go in one more time, just make a round to say goodbye to everybody. And Dennis goes, I don't think that's a good idea, man. You're going to get stuck in there. And when I went in there, that's when the douche told me how much he hates the fucking show. And I go, damn it, Dennis, you were right. I should have never went back in there.
You just went back in for bad news.
I did. I wanted to say goodbye to some people, but then it was great fun though. Well, you missed a good one.
And by some people, you mean those hot chicks.
Yes, they were the best ones.
They were the best.
This email says, so I find myself in a weird situation. I am beginning to get licensed in my dream career. I have the degree, but stayed in my current job in a completely different field for many years after I graduated. I am taking all my professional exams and getting ready to start applying. There's just one problem. Back in December, I got my medical marijuana license to help with some chronic pain issues, coupled with physical therapy and cortisone injections. The weed has helped when nothing else did. I'm now concerned because I will be required to pass a drug test to get hired in my dream field. I Googled if being a legal licensed user will prohibit me from passing. I was disappointed to see that I will fail even with the license. Next step was speaking to my weed doc, who told me that it wouldn't be a problem because there is a database in the state showing all legal licensed users. Therefore, I'd be exempt from the marijuana part of the drug test. I still felt a little worried because if that is not the case, I will have a dirty drug test on my file and my preferred employer. The weed doc understood my concerns and told me to call the employer anonymously and ask them directly. I did and was sad to hear that I can fail even with the legal license because of federal laws superseding state laws and weed not being recognized federally as legal. The girl I spoke to didn't sound super confident, but that is what she told me. Has KVJ Nation had any experience with this? Would love some insight. Should I just quit for a while until I test clean?
I mean, if anybody knows about a drug test, it's your boy Bird over here.
Okay.
Holy shit balls. I quit weed for a good, I think 45 days it was from when we were going to Miami. Those it's really up to the company, and you sometimes find out that the people you're working with doesn't even care. It's such a higher up kind of a thing.
It's a corporate mandate, and no one's really even checking on a local level.
When we got to Miami, and they go, "What was going on with your tests and all that?" And to be quite honest with you, it just nothing went wrong with the test. It's just the way it worked out. And I was explaining to our manager at the time about the weed. He goes, "Dude, nobody would have given a shit if you tested positive for weed in radio. Go, you're doing brain surgery here.
Right.
you're doing goofy shit."
Yeah, I'm wondering how often that is happening where somebody is kept from getting a job because of a marijuana test. Does that happen? And how often and what career fields are shutting people down?
Your law enforcement, all that kind of stuff.
And that's even if you have the legal?
I believe so, Kevin. If I am wrong, someone will let you know. But I've asked people in law enforcement, I go, "Are you allowed to have weed if you are..." I think it's that way even with 911 dispatchers. Because think about it. If you have a 911 call and it doesn't go right and you've showed negligence, couldn't they say, "Oh, it's the weed"? I'm just asking that question.
Yeah.
I think there's some careers where they just don't even want to fuck with it.
Right.
Driving jobs too. I know it's hard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So definitely let us know if anybody has any information on that.
Kevin, forgive me if I told this part of that story before, but you had called me. You had just talked to our agent at the time.
Yeah.
And it was Friday night. I think I did tell this. I picked up the phone. Hey, Kevin's calling. Me and my boy Bigfoot just smoked the biggest Wonder joint. Like, yeah, we have a drug test in a week. Stop smoking some weed. What? What? Kevin, I just smoked a Wonder joint. I mean, seconds before the call.
Hold on, let me put my doobie down. I got to answer his call.
That was not...
Hey, stop smoking weed, pothead.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
That sobered up real quick and did not enjoy that high. That was rough.
Amazing.
Got an email from Sam and Tricia. They said, not sure if you guys have discussed this recently. I was curious if you have any recommendations for affordable hotels in the South Florida area. My wife and I like to get away every once in a while on the weekends from Martin County and head south, but it seems like all the hotel prices are crazy high like everything else, even in the summertime when it usually is cheaper. We thought maybe some listeners might know some nice mom and pop places that don't cost an arm and a leg. Yeah, we noticed that too, because that was the one thing the Queen and I were kind of looking around thinking that's probably what we were going to do when we had our vacation. And, you know, they were a little cheaper, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, what a great deal this is. I have noticed it seems like the prices have stayed relatively high.
There's no great deals like there have been in the past in summertime in Florida. I don't know why, but it just seems like the prices went up and stayed up.
The only thing that I've seen that is really kind of ridiculously cheap is some of the cruises. I was even seeing today they had, for instance, like a cruise to the Bahamas was like maybe $40 a night.
Wow.
Something like that per person. So, you know, some of those prices on the cruises, 3-day, even there was one in the Caribbean that you can get for under $50 a night, which is kind of crazy. I think that's everything included. So they're trying to do everything they can to get people on those ships right now. So that would be the only thing that I know of that is ridiculously, you know, affordable. So there you go. Let me see here. Other stuff that we got. Amber said, hubby and I just started watching a new FX show on Hulu called The Old Man. Not at all what we expected, and it's so good. Only 6 episodes for this first season, 5 episodes already out. The last episode will be out on this Friday. He has already been renewed for a second season. Check it out. The Old Man.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, always looking for some good stuff. Check out.
You heard that new M. Night Shyamalan movie called Old? Has that been on your radar at all? Have you seen that?
No, I don't know. I think I've seen some. He does a lot of the more thriller, scary type stuff.
Right.
And
You
I
and
don't,
Virginia are
yeah,
pussies, I forgot.
I don't really watch that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
When it comes to movies, yes, we are pussies.
There is a show I have been seeing something about called The Boys. And that might be Amazon too.
Kevin, everybody and their mother is telling me to watch this show.
Okay.
The Boys, yes, it's on Amazon. There's several members of the Snack Pack who swear by it.
It looks like it might be kind of superhero-ish.
Yeah,
maybe in
I
that
think
genre.
I think it's all raunchy too.
Yeah, and I don't know. The Queen typically doesn't like that, so I'm probably have to jump on that solo. But yeah, I've been hearing some good things about it.
Come on over, bro. We can watch it together.
Okay, man. Sounds good.
That'll never happen.
Fuck.
He ain't coming over to your house, Wonder Joint.
Dog, I know.
Did see this though, where they have the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission. They are the ones that are responsible for getting TV shows and movies, music videos, commercials to film in South Florida. And last year, they say there were 64 TV shows, 36 commercials, 10 music videos, and 5 movies filmed in Palm Beach County.
Wow.
It's like,
Are they
okay.
counting Grimsley? Because that is one.
You're right.
We didn't get permission though. You see us like running out of a store because, all right, good, we got the scene. Let's go.
You had 0 permits.
0. Everything was illegal.
Yeah, I can't really think of the last, because, we'd had a bunch for a while there. And then, if I remember right, they stopped giving out so much money to Hollywood. And then a lot of those productions went to Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember they were filming the Ballers, and they changed it from South Florida. I forget where.
I think they went to L.A. afterwards because they're like, well, screw it. We weren't getting the breaks. They say that all of those TV shows, commercials, and music videos were responsible for $203 million in local revenue, which, I mean, if it's bringing a ton of money, why wouldn't you give them some money?
Right.
They say that 2019, I think that might have been before it all went down, $238 million. That was the best year ever. So I'd like to see it because to me, I think that's always awesome when you are watching a TV show and it's filmed in South Florida. You're like, oh my gosh, look at that. I mean, we got some of the best landscape in America, so why would you not? And there's always a great story happening in South Florida.
Speaking of movies, what are you doing this weekend, Virginia?
Me?
Yeah, you busy on a Saturday?
I am. You know where I'm going to be on Saturday?
Fuck, where crawfish. Crawfish ass.
It's not crawfish season anymore, asshole.
Okay.
Can I finish?
Yes.
I'm going to be at Busch Wildlife
Ooh.
with Amy and the crew. They're doing a whole series, an educational thing, and she asked me if I would come out there. They're doing fundraising. They're moving. And so they've been doing all kinds of fun stuff at Busch Wildlife, and I'm helping her host an event.
All right, I got to get with you after and annoy you. Oh, Kevin, she's such a fucking diva. All right.
What do you got to annoy me about?
I want to get your movie shit done so you can be done, your stuff for the KVJ horror movie. And I'd like to get you done early in the process so I don't have to deal with you.
Can you see me like in a couple weeks? Because I want to crash diet so I look skinny.
You're going to look so good in this fucking...
No, I'm porky right now.
The role requires you to be a little portly. So
I don't want to be portly on film. You're not immortalizing me as a porkster.
Oh, she's the worst.
It's tough, huh?
Yes.
Tough to
No,
work with.
I gotta be skinny.
Oh my God.
I'm not available this weekend. I'm fat.
That's fucking amazing. All right.
See me in 2 weeks because my family is coming to visit and I have a boat day planned, and so I gotta be skinny for that.
I mean, was that next week?
No.
We're gonna lose 30 pounds in a week. And I'm not saying you need to lose 30 pounds. That's not what I meant.
Oh, boy. Wow.
I don't think she needs to lose weight.
30?
I think you don't need to lose. I think you're perfect the way you are.
I just want to lose about 12, but apparently I got 30 to lose.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm not going to be able to. I'm just going to have to lop off a leg.
Yeah. That's just
30.
what happens in Hollywood. That's how they treat their stars, Virginia.
I mean, these male directors.
Yeah.
Damn.
Toxic.
Is this my Weinstein scandal?
Toxic male
This is my
directors.
scandal.
I'm too fat.
Yeah.
I got to lose 30 pounds.
That's not what I meant. And any of you weirdos that want to email me, say I call Virginia up, send it to Kevin.
Well, I thought I was 12 pounds overweight, but he says it's 30.
These chauvinistic oath keepers.
Oh my gosh, Kevin, you dick.
Oh, damn. He just kicked you in the balls.
Oh man, there's a scandal brewing.
Always is. Always is. Let me see. Deani sent an email. She said, I listen to you guys about every day, but my youngest daughter has been homesick the past couple of days, so I haven't had a chance. Today was a pretty shitty day, but the thing that finally brought a smile to my face was listening to the ATS podcast while I walked my dog tonight. So I just want to thank you all for my daily dose of serotonin. And also, could you please play Funky Cole Medina on Friday for the free-for-all?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking to the good people, a lot of them said their favorite parts of the podcast. They love the After the Show podcast because I think that we're not restricted. We can say fuck. Virginia can say twat if she wants to.
That's
Twat,
right.
Twat, twat, twat.
See? I remember when Virginia said titty, titty, titty 3 times in a microphone back at our old station at Wild. And we had the funniest, not because the manager wanted to be funny, but he was funny because he was yelling at Virginia. He was so mad. He couldn't believe you said titty 3 times.
Titty, titty, titty.
But what made it funny was he sat me, Kevin, and Virginia down. He was red in the face. Do you really think this is good radio? Do you think this is good? And then he pressed, he played the audio clip. That's
For
fucking, I mean, it's hilarious.
Titty, titty, titty.
I'm like trying not to laugh.
He's dead serious.
Oh, so mad.
So serious.
Yeah.
And she did it overly, titty, 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 so Cajun.
It's just got to emphasize it.
Oh, it was great.
Speaking of titty, you been getting any tit pics on your phone since you gave your phone number out?
I haven't even, there's so much going on there. I haven't even.
You showed me a few dick pics and
I'm not looking for those.
yeah,
I'm going to change the number pretty soon.
those are good for comedy
I
though.
got to change the number. I'm already getting hate text now.
Aw. Here's why I hate your show.
Yeah. Here's why you're a pussy bird.
That's
Here's
what
my
happens
manifesto before I kill you.
Oh, it's going to happen.
when you open the floodgates.
One of you are going to find me dead.
I hope
Here
it's
it
Kevin.
comes.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Kevin,
God, that'd be so tough.
Kevin would
I feel
find
like Kevin could handle it better.
Kevin would handle and then start working on prep. All right, how is this how we'll detect this on the 6 o'clock hour?
Jaybird Death Show.
And then you'd text Denny's and Denny's would have to come and deal with it.
Dennis, you pull a couple cuts of Jaybird, he died.
That's how it would sound.
That'd be it. All right. Well, you got anything you ever want to add to the show, you can send us those emails, mail@kvjshow.com. Love all your feedback and response. Make sure you go and follow us on social media, too. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Just look for the KVJ Show. Y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.